all I'm getting
It's a
at
cultural norm in other places.
is who's going to be the arbiter of culture? Because in the States, we basically say the mob is the arbiter of culture.
Yeah.
You know, why do people listen to this song, and why does it become popular? Because the people like it.
Right.
Is it good? No, it could be awful.
Trap music.
You know, like what's the new one that I like? WAP. You know, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Me either.
And most of the people I talk to are like, if you grew up listening to music of the 90s and the 2000s, especially in rap, this is nothing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
we shook our ass to way worse stuff.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
we
at
did.
parties, in the club. It's like, what are you talking about?
In the
This
car.
is literally nothing. Now, you can take all the issue you want with the beat, maybe with them as rappers,
Man.
maybe. I don't really see an issue there, though, honestly. But as far as like the song and what the song is talking about and what it's saying, I'm sorry that we can pull. I mean, people are doing this, pulling out songs that are just as bad or worse in other people's minds, and these were the songs that we just jammed to. This is the song that you listen to in the car, the one you listen to at the club. This is the one you jammed when you're just sitting around with your friends. It was, you know.
Yeah, your Sarah put a list up this week, and I could sing all the words to
Yeah,
all the
of course.
songs. As I'm reading it down, I'm singing the little songs going through, and I'm thinking,
Everybody that was alive at that time did.
Right.
And whether it was super explicit, pulled back a little bit, or very, very poetic. I mean, that's kind of our range, right? From explicit to highly suggestionable but very poetic. Because you can go back to songs of the 60s and you were finding, what's her name, from the, 30s?
She's 1924.
Blues singer.
Lucille.
You know.
Bragan or something like that.
That is saying
Woo-hoo.
way worse stuff. I mean, it's got an explicit warning on it today, you know, from the 1920s. I didn't even know they were doing that, but they are, apparently.
I would love to be a fly on the wall when people heard those songs for the first time.
But it's like everything else. That song is never going to reach my mother's ears, right? So just like everybody has their songs of their time, her stuff would have only reached a small group of people that one even knew about her, listened to her,
enjoy that
maybe
style.
bought the album or went to her live show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very small group of people that even have that knowledge.
She has a great blues voice.
But it's still, it's irrelevant. It's the idea that this is so bad.
Meh.
It's like, no, it's not bad at all. This is just what it is. I mean, we kind of float between these worlds of, you know, being suggestive and really poetic or folksy, and then all the way to as explicit as you can be with language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we float back and forth over the years between these things. And what people like, and what people allow other people to listen to, especially their children, a lot of the children are listening, you know, if it floats toward that explicit stuff, then they're going to get that, you know. But like coming up in the 70s and 80s, I really could not name an R&B, soul, funk song that was that explicit.
No.
Okay? But you get to the 90s and you get to rap in the 90s, because rap in the 80s kind of didn't do it either. No. They weren't really explicit. And it starts to build toward the end of the 80s.
Yeah.
But then you get into the 90s and people are like, look, you know, I mean, people are being derided by groups like NWA by them saying, you live one way, but you rap like this over here so that you can get play on the radio.
Yeah,
but you're not even being honest with who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
Be honest. And then when people start being honest, people get mad at them for being honest. It's like, no,
right.
You can't do that. So if this is Cardi B's thoughts mentality, her mind, what she thinks and says, and how she wants to express it. Why has anybody got a problem with that? We do it in painting.
Yeah.
We do it in
Writing.
photography. We do it in art. We do it in writing. We do it in all the other
about
things.
this.
Why are you guys making a big
They're
deal
throwing
about this
such a
one
fit about
song?
this song, but nobody threw a fit about 50 Shades of Grey. And it's no different.
Well, I think it's because 50 Shades of Grey was not a black thing.
And there we go.
You know, it was some other, and I haven't even seen it yet. I've
50
never
Shades?
really cared to see it
Yeah.
or read the books. But the idea that
not
this
your
was
thing,
for a suburban housewife,
Yeah.
white suburban housewives. I mean,
Yep.
that's who it was really marketed towards, and
Mommy porn.
it wasn't. It really was not something I cared about, and I've thought about like checking them out
I have
from
them.
a film standpoint, because they did the film, right?
Yeah,
Or
I
did they
have
do 3 films?
They did 3.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm very disappointed with the American versions.
Okay, I'm not.
Because they're not the same as the ones you see overseas.
But the idea that what we're doing now is so bad compared to what was done in the past. I've had people come and talk about films and talk about the films of the late 60s and 70s and be like, they don't even do that stuff today.
Nope.
Like some of the stuff, I mean, there's a reason why people like Pam Grier so much, because there was so much TNA in her films.
Oh, yeah.
And she is a thick Thursday. Pam Grier. Oh yeah, big time. But that's that idea that we can get very risque and then we have to pull back. We get influences from other countries and then we pull back, and it just keeps going back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth. I just don't see. I mean, you're not gonna. I don't feel that you're going to surprise me anymore. We've gone as far as you're gonna go one way. All you can do is pull back.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like when we had conscious rap, we went all the way into as conscious and revolutionary as you can get. The only place to go from there was to burn it all down and never do this again, or pull back and keep making songs. You know, and then you get people that come to the fore, like at the same time you get Public Enemy, you've got Fresh Prince, Fresh Prince, and you get this more party, jazzy, and so then everything pulls back into the party and the individual and all this other stuff. But then eventually those people get a little bit older and maybe they start seeing things and they start becoming a little more conscious, maybe a little more dissatisfied with what they're seeing around them, and they start telling that story. And all of a sudden the consciousness starts to creep back in again, and you start to say no, and then you get people killing people, like cops killing black folks or people getting lynched, and all of a sudden you're back to that thing. So it's the ebb and flow inside of culture, I think, when it comes to stuff like that. But if you want to hear from the Traveling Farrs, you can find us on the Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever exciting podcasts are sold for free as the Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, we are Traveling Farrs. If you want to email her, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry, where you can get all the back episodes. I mean, all of them. Everything we've done since 2017 is on there and searchable. Granted, some of my keywords were not great at the beginning, but it's all there.
And don't forget to check out the Patreon and give us your money
Patreon.
at patreon.com.
Can you even see that?
The Traveling Farrs.
You can't see it, can you?
I can see it.
See, he can see it and I can see it, but you can't see it.
I'm
You can't
blind.
see it. She doesn't
Uh-oh.
have the editing magic that we have been so kindly blessed with.
Uh-oh. The car is moving. So,
Give us-
Patreon
give us your money.
and... Try this again. Patreon and...
GoFundMe.
Aha! Good job.
Took me a moment.
We were brainstorming some ideas yesterday on what we can give you as patrons on the Patreon. So
We're going to have to do some research and find out like how we can get them made and distributed without us having to do it.
yes,
we're gonna make stuff for you, but like if it's a photo, somebody else can print the photo, mail the photo.
Right.
I'm not doing that, especially not from Poland. Whenever we get there.
Right.
Same thing with kids' artwork. I don't know what Karen's gonna do for you. Maybe we'll have her sing or something. I don't know.
Yes, we
I
could
can
make
actually do
your
that.
rap album.
What?
Yes.
What's her rap name?
Queso Blanco.
That's hilarious.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. It's time to go.
We're out of here.
We gotta
Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
Louder. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
Louder. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
Peace.
run away.